On this special episode of Supercars Talk, I dumped the shed and joined Glenn in the virtual world to review the first of the BP Supercars All-Stars eSeries races. For this, we've done things a little bit differently. There hasn't really been notes or anything taken for this. Probably haven't taken it too seriously, as the racing probably wasn't too serious. You see, it's a bit of a free-flowing conversation about the race more than an actual kind of review. The plan is, going forward, we'll probably do these reviews each week. If anyone is interested in joining us on these reviews, probably try and do them on Wednesday or Thursday night, have them out either Thursday or Friday. So, if you're interested and like to have a crack with us, get in contact, link below, or catch me on Instagram. I'm at Tubby_Dave. So enjoy the review. It kind of starts a bit mid-sentence, but here it goes. I haven't planned this one too much because, I didn't take any notes last night like a normal race.
I think it was interesting to see the different drivers, how seriously they took it. And I think you look at like the Andre Heimgartner and those sorts of guys, they're obviously big into the sims.
Yeah, they were well prepared for it, whereas some of the other guys like Rick Kelly was... I kept waiting for him to come out with like a proper setup, and then they were like, oh yeah, that was all just a joke. And then no, he was genuinely doing it on the, whatever it was, camping chair.
Yeah.
But
made out. I'd seen him during the week, like bits and pieces on his Instagram where he was building it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was his take for sure. Like I'd seen Andre's setup and some of these other guys, the SimWorks setups that are all getting delivered. Yeah, I'm sure they're all sponsored for free. Yeah. And then and I saw a video where
Rick got that computer off Harvey Norman and stuff.
Yeah,
that would have been a ridiculous cost of a computer. And then he's got, I think it was just a Logitech steering wheel on that, but there's still a good $500 there, and then he throws a few bits of wood together.
Yeah, well, it was interesting that most of the other ones, or all the ones they showed, except for Rick, they were all using like the Fanatec direct drive or some of these other direct drive steering wheels where they get a lot of feedback through the wheel.
Yeah.
Whereas Rick is on the $299 off the shelf Logitech.
Have you ever used one of those Logitech steering wheels though?
Yeah, I've got one here. I've got it set up now in the lounge room. Because I thought that I might get a gig on iRacing.
Well, it's possible. You'd have a run with... Well, Reynolds and that were just mucking around, and, they didn't look too bad by the end of the weekend, or, by the end of the night. So I reckon they're probably smashing a fair bit of practice.
Yeah, I think over the next week now, obviously, they'll get into it a bit more.
Yeah.
I was surprised there wasn't more accidents and more people just getting taken out. Yeah, you saw the Dave Reynolds thing earlier in the week where he said, I'm not going to let a single car pass me. I'm just going to crash into it. And then it didn't happen.
I reckon someone had a word to him and said, this is half serious, boys. Because especially, we saw some footage from that, the test race they did, I think it was on Monday. Yeah. And I know Scott Pye had some footage of that up, and that was carnage.
I think obviously now the Formula One eSeries, that was on last night as well, before the Supercars. I don't know whether that was a replay or that was live.
That was a replay. I think they did that on Sunday night, European time.
Yeah, okay. And then the IndyCar.
Yeah.
IndyCar and NASCAR, it seems to be the way they're all going to try and keep all the sponsors and supporters and stuff engaged.
Yeah, well, it keeps them on the TV or whatever a bit. And there's got to be in the sponsors' contracts that they can pull out if there's no racing. So at least this kind of keeps the sponsors there. And it was kind of good how they did do all the cars properly as well. They spent a lot of time doing that. Whereas the F1 seems to be a bit slapped together. They've got the full-on game there, but they didn't bother. They seem to organise it and then go, hey, do any of the drivers want to take part? Whereas at least Supercars went, right, everyone takes part. Let's set this up properly.
Yeah, that's right. The Davison brothers, they were ready to go. Obviously, they can't get a drive anywhere else. So, as soon as they heard there was some sort of e-racing, they were in.
One of them's all right. There was I read a story today that he reckons age is no barrier to him being successful this year. And I thought, well, obviously you weren't successful when you were young, so fuck you. What's going to make you successful now that you're old? Although some of us shouldn't bag someone who's 40 as being old, because some of us aren't far off that either. But I thought that was a bit ridiculous. It's like, well, you never did any good when you were young, so you're
that's right.
not going to do any good now.
And Chris Pither, I saw, was as good on the sim as he is in real life.
The techno cars had the same technology in them.
Yeah, that's right.
They were running an older version of iRacing.
Yeah, they were on an old X888. Yeah.
Win 95 machines and off you go. Should be right, mate.
Look, I think the feedback was pretty good. Like today online, there were lots of people saying how good it was, and whether or not it was actually any good, or people were just excited to see something from Supercars.
Yeah.
I
think there's a bit of novelty factor. But like, you don't kind of take it as personally as what you do like a normal race. Like I didn't care when, like a few guys got taken out or whatever, and you just kind of have a laugh. And, I didn't get pissed off that Anton got his penalty or anything like that. Whereas if that was real, you'd probably, you might get a bit emotional about it. But at least, it was something to watch, and it looks good. For
someone that doesn't know any better, it doesn't look too unrealistic.
No, well, that's what I said. Like my wife walked past when I was watching the IndyCar race the other weekend, or the first one they had, and she got all excited about there being crowds there, and they're not allowed to have crowds. And I'm like, it's a game. Have a look. And then because she was just kind of walking past, and then she actually had a proper look at it and went, "Oh shit!" Like the graphics in that really are good. I reckon the Supercars probably looked a bit better.
Yeah, I reckon too. Like Island and stuff like that, it did really look realistic.
Yeah, it's just when they crash. Like when Van Gisbergen lost half his car, that didn't look quite as real. Or Rick Kelly was doing his somersaults up.
Yeah, they don't quite have the gravity thing down pat. But look, that's probably the thing to work on. And I think in iRacing they can tweak the crashes. What happens and when cars go back to the pits. Where they come back in with damage and stuff. So if they make a change, then before next week or next round, whenever it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, there won't be any crashes next week anyway, because they're on 2 Formula 1 tracks. So there's miles of runoff and the big wide open spaces. It's not like, granted, Monza's a Formula 1 track, but it's an old school Formula 1 track. Like Barcelona was Barcelona, and they fucked up Silverstone. So it's
I think having Craig Baird there, I thought added a bit of realism.
Yeah,
and I think that I think he's good. As the standards observer normally. So it was good input.
I don't agree with every decision he makes, but
no, but he's the adjudicator. That's the hard thing. You're never going to agree with him all the time, because sometimes he's going to penalise Tander and you're going to get your panties in a twist.
I don't recall Tander ever getting a penalty. He was very clean.
When you're down the back of the grid, there aren't too many penalties.
You get away with more stuff because the TV's not on you.
Yeah, that's right. No one sees it. But no, I think it was good overall.
I enjoyed it. I also liked the kind of Wednesday night, and I like that first race was really. I was surprised because you kind of go, 9 laps is nothing, but it covered everything in the 9 laps, and I actually found the reverse grid race a little bit, you had a bit of a dull kind of bit in the middle there where like, nothing's happening now, and you nearly kind of, it was getting late in the night for some of us and starting to have a bit of a doze off. It got exciting towards the end again, but it was nearly like you could nearly shorten these up and just kind of have 20-minute races on them and bang out a few. And because of the turnaround, like, I mean, they were in Phillip Island and then 5 minutes later they're in Monza. Like,
I think that's the thing, though. They could mix the tracks up. So you only really need to race, one race, 20 minutes at a track, and then go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's it. But it also keeps that a bit of interest there with them being short, sharp races and that, and it makes it a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's so many tracks in iRacing, from what I understand. I've never played on it, but
I had a look the other day, and there was quite a lot, and a lot I hadn't heard of as well.
So it'd be good to go to some weird and wacky tracks. I mean, there's nothing to lose.
Well, that's why I was hoping. Where I think they've been probably a little bit conservative on the calendar. I probably would have gone to a bit more. They're kind of safe Formula One tracks, whereas like Monaco's not on there, but actually they are going to go to Brazil later on. I've got the list here, so. But I would have probably picked like Imola and Brazil as the earlier ones rather than like Silverstone and Barcelona are very straightforward Formula One tracks kind of thing. Like, which they're going to race at Coda, okay, fair enough, but they are what they are kind of thing. The racing's not ever going to be great on them compared to.
Is it every Wednesday night that they're racing, or what's the
schedule? Wednesday night for 10 weeks. So like. I assume it's the same. Well, I saw the TV schedule for the next month, so I assume they're just going to continue with that. So,
and are they going to have any time-card drivers come in?
Apparently, but there's been no announcements yet.
Because you think there'd be kids there that sit on iRacing, all day that would probably smoke these guys.
Well, they probably don't want those guys coming in, but I mean the top guys. I hear like Van Gisbergen and that are quite good against the full-on iRacing people, which apparently Van Gisbergen, because he's stuck in New Zealand, so that's why he was struggling a bit because he's on a makeshift rig. Apparently, he's got a super serious rig set on the Gold Coast that he's not allowed to use.
There you go.
Bit of parody there.
Look, I think given the circumstances where people can't, get around, there's probably other drivers as well that are away from their teams, at the moment, and they're away here. And I think it's just making the best of a bad situation. I mean, no one would have planned that, they wouldn't be racing in real life now.
No, that's it. Yeah,
like everyone's work, people are working remotely and working reduced hours, and we make do. What these guys are going to do.
Yeah, that's it. I think they've done quite a good job of it, considering everything that's been thrown up. So I know I'm going to be watching again next weekend.
Yeah, I think it's.
I say weekend, but it's on middle of the week.
That's working from home now, Dave. Every day's like the weekend.
Oh well, it's funny. I've had conversations with people today. And today being Thursday, and they've got no idea what day it is. Well, they don't even know that tomorrow's Good Friday and things like that because just everyone. But it's just weird because like we got days off in the middle of the week and people are in the office and not in the office. No one knows what's going on. So.
Everyone's out of sorts, but we're all in the same boat. And I think that's the thing. We're all in it together, and just drivers. You don't hear Shane Van Gisbergen complaining about not having his own simulator. It is what it is. We move on.
Yeah, that's it. Which he was a bit disappointing last night too.
Yeah, I thought he was.
A lot of people talking him right up, and
there were times where I think he was quite good, but he sort of got. And that's the thing with e-racing is that you can get caught up in real, and it does really.
Well, that was really a Monza. The only one that got away with it was Scott at the front, and then everyone else was involved in, and it was just the luck of the draw who was then going to be second and third in that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
but
I'm not. Sorry.
See what happens next week.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I'll be watching.
Absolutely.
We'll probably have to do another crappy review on it.
Well, there might be something worth talking about next week, but I think that for last, really nothing, nothing too shocking. I think it'd be interesting to see, like, Shane might get a good setup by next week. You'd think someone would say, hey, I've got a big simulator, and I think Rick, possibly will end up in a real rig next week.
Might refine the timber design.
Maybe sand it down and paint it or something, but...
I know some of the guys, like the IndyCar guys, they'd been, like, for the first race, they'd been borrowing other drivers' things and stuff like that and going where they could over to other people's houses and then gradually a lot of them are setting themselves up, and some of the they had some of the juniors and stuff racing in that first race because the main drivers didn't have gear in that, whereas at least everyone had something this time. But
Macaulay Jones had his two mates in the line on his bed in the background.
Good say. I hope they live in the same house.
When you know the teammate, you've got a bit of flexibility around how seriously you take it, but no, it was.
Yeah, it was good. So yeah,
sweet.
That covers our great race review of was it Phillip Island and Monza?
Phillip Island and Monza. So next week, who is it, or where is it?
Barcelona and Silverstone.
Okay. No.
So
3 races.
Nobody knows. Like it was only, I think it was Wednesday morning that they released that there was going to be a reverse grid race and things like that. So I think they're just seeing what happens and playing with it on the fly.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's all right. No.
Yeah. Well,
sweet.
We'll be watching. We'll do a review next week, and yeah. Until next time, I'll see you later.